Good morning, students. Am I audible? So today we are going to start a new chapter. It's a design of channel, or you can also say it's a design of canal. Okay. So here in this chapter we have two types. One is your line canal, and one is your unlined canal. Okay. So what is the difference between the two? Yes, suppose we need to design a canal. So what we do first, we excavate the artwork. Okay, and suppose we want to design a trapezoidal channel. Okay, so if you want to construct a trapezoidal channel, so first we have to excavate, okay, in a trapezoidal form. Okay, and then if we keep it as like this, then this is called your mobile boundary. Okay, this is called as mobile boundary, or you can say unlined canal. Or if we do some brick construction, to line the canal, then your boundary of the canal is fixed. Your boundary of the canal is fixed. So that is why it's called your mobile boundary. Sorry, it is non-erodible boundary canal, or you can say it's a line canal. Okay? So this is the difference. If you do or if you fix the boundary of the canal, then it is called non-erodible. So if you can use brick wall also, then you can sometimes it use mortar also to line the canal. So there are different advantages and disadvantages in both. So those things you are going to study in irrigation chapter. Okay? Those things you are going to study in details. Now here, how can we design this channel, whether it is a line or it is an unlined canal? Okay? So we have various methods for both line and unlined canal. So from exam point of view, if you see, or if you go for any competitive exam, your maximum questions you can see from your unlined canal. That means you can say the Arden Canal. Say in Arden Canal, when the water flows, it carries an amount of silt. Okay? And in due course of time, it might happen that silt is deposited at the bottom of the channel. And then it's deposited and your bed of the channel it changes. And at the time if this happens, your capacity of the channel reduces. So those are the disadvantages, which those things you are going to study in details in irrigation subject. So here, how we are going to design your line canal or unlined canal. Okay? Those things we are going to study in this chapter. As your erodible erodible channel is your most important part. So we are going to discuss the first methods to design for erodible channel. Okay? Erodible means we don't have any line, or we don't have fixed the boundary of the channel. It's of Arten canal. Okay, you can also say it's a Arten canal. Okay, where there because of the flow of water, there can be some erosion. for design of erodible channel, we have two. One is your Kennedy's seal theory, one is Lacey's theory. Okay. So first we are going to discuss about Kennedy's theory. Okay. So we are directly go to the steps required for designing a candle by Kennedy's theory. Okay. So we have some steps for designing erodible channel by Kennedy's theory. We have to follow these steps. Okay. So first, a discharge should be known to us because we have a discharge called design discharge. When you are going to design some hydraulic structure, then you should have a particular design for which design or for which discharge you are going to design that particular channel. So that Q is nothing but your design discharge. So this Q should be known for what discharge you are going to design that particular channel or canal. Okay. Then you should know the bed slope, and which is definitely depends on the topography of the land. Okay. Then we have one term called critical velocity ratio, and then another one is NK, that is cutters. Okay. So basically, this is your trial and error method. Okay. Your Kennedy's theory is basically trial and error method. So step number one, in step one, you have to assume a depth of flow. That is why. Okay. In first step, you have to assume a value of depth of y. Okay. That is your first step. In second step, you have to find out velocity by using this equation v equal to 0.55 mr. Mr is nothing but your critical velocity ratio. Okay. Mr is nothing but your critical velocity ratio. R v equal to 0.55 multiplied by mr multiplied by y to the power 0.64. Okay. Y to the power 0.64. This is the equation. So in that equation, if you see, calculate velocity, say to calculate velocity, 0.55 is a constant term, then mr. So to determine or using this theory, that mr should be known to us. Okay. Definitely it should be known to us, then only we can use this particular theory. Okay. And y value we have already assumed in the first step. What will be the y value? Okay. So this depth of flow is just an assumption. Okay. Just an assumption. So that is why it is called trial and error method. We have to change the depth of flow and see how it proceed. Okay. So this is your step two to find out the velocity. Then you move on to the step three. In step three, you have to find out the area. So discharge is known to you. Discharge is already known to you, and velocity we have calculated in step number two. So from step number two, you can find out the area. That is your third step. Then we move on to the next step, that is number four. In step number four, we normally assume we normally consider this channel section to be trapezoid. The trapezoidal section is the most appropriate, so that is why we normally consider. But if you want, you can design for rectangular channel also. There is no hard and fast rule, but it says that the trapezoidal channel is most economical and most efficient. Okay? So when you consider a trapezoidal channel, then definitely we need side slope z. We need side slope. Okay. So z value, if it is not known, z value if it is not known, we have to assume zero point 0.5 to 2. Okay. The z value we have to assume 0.5, in between 0.5 to 2. Okay. So 0.51, 1.52, depending on the types of soil. Okay. Depending on the types of soil. That z value depends on what type of soil is present in that particular location. Okay. So loose soil, for loose soil z value will be more. Okay. So loose soil we will be considering a higher z value. Okay. So we move on to the next step, that is number 5. Then we use the equation of area of a trapezoidal channel. Okay. This is nothing but area equation of a trapezoidal channel that we have already discussed number of times. Okay. So we use the area equation, and that area equation, you see, area we have already calculated in step number 3. Okay. Area we have already calculated in step number 3. Then y value we have already assumed in step number 1. So from this equation we can determine the width of the channel V. Okay. Understood? In step number 5, we are going to use the area equation of a trapezoidal channel. In that particular equation, area is already known that we have calculated in step number 3. Then z value, if it is known, then it's okay. If it is not known, depending on the types of soil, we are going to assume in between zero point 0.5 to 2. Okay. Then y value we have already assumed in step number 1. And from this equation, we can directly compute your width of the channel, that is your bottom width of the channel. Okay. Then you come to the weighted perimeter equation of a trapezoidal channel. Okay. Here in this equation, your V is the width of the channel that you are going to determine from this area equation, and then you substitute here. Okay. Y you have already assumed, then z value is also known, and from this equation you can find out the weighted perimeter of that particular trapezoidal channel. Students, you are requested to write down the steps. Okay, because when we move on to the numericals, so these steps you need. Okay, you have to follow this step by step procedure. Okay, so it's better if you write down the steps. Okay, write the steps required in design by Kennedy's theory, and you write down the steps till 5. Okay, we have more steps. Okay, so as we have discussed till 5, you kindly write down till 5. Okay. over. Then we move on to the next step. Okay, step number 6. So in step number 5, you have calculated weighted perimeter of that particular trapezoidal section. Then from the area equation, you have calculated width of the bottom width of the channel, and from using that weighted perimeter equation of a trapezoidal channel, you are going to calculate the weighted perimeter. Okay. Then in step number 6, you are going to find out the R value. Okay, that you all know, that is area by weighted perimeter. Area we have already calculated in step number 3, and weighted perimeter you have calculated in step number 5. Okay, so from this we can find out the R value, which is our step number 6. Then for step number 7, you write down this velocity equation. You write down this velocity equation. E is equal to 23 plus 0.00155 divided by bed slope plus 1 by nk. Nk is cutters. Okay, it's this nk should be known if you are going to use this theory. Okay, then 1 plus 23 plus 0.0015 divided by bed slope multiplied by nk divided by r. Okay, and whole multiplied by root over r into bed slope. So please you write down this equation. This is our step number 7. Okay, in step number 7 we have to calculate again the velocity. Okay, over. Okay, so see why I have said it is a trial and error method, because see, first we have, in the very first step we have assumed the depth of flow. Okay, for that assumed depth of flow we have calculated velocity by using that equation 0.55 multiplied by critical velocity ratio multiplied by y to the power 0.64. Okay, then we have calculated area, then we are considering trapezoidal channel, then from that area equation we are going to calculate width of the channel, and then using that width of the channel we are going to find out the weighted perimeter of that particular trapezoidal channel. Then we are going to find out the hydraulic radius, and then again we are going to find out the velocity by using this equation. Okay, so now what we have to do, you have to compare the velocity you have calculated using step number 2 and the velocity you have calculated in step number 7. Okay, if both the velocity is approximately same, then you can say the assumed depth is correct. Okay, if this two velocity is not same, then you have to go back to your step number 1 and you have to assume a depth of flow. You have to assume another depth of flow. Okay, if you assume first 2 meter as depth of flow, and then you do all the steps till 7, and then you have to compare both the velocity that you have calculated in step numbers 2 and step number 7. Okay, if both the velocity is almost same, then you can say our depth of flow for the particular trapezoidal channel is 2 meter. If it is not same, then we have to assume another depth of flow. It may be 2.5 or 2.3. Okay, it depends on you. Okay, so this is the whole procedure. Once you have to repeat till 7 till you are getting the same velocity. Okay, so that is why this process is called trial and error method. You have to give a trial, and then if you get some error, then you have to go for another depth of flow. Then you have to proceed the whole process, and then again, if it is not same, then again you have to go for another depth of flow. Okay, so once you are getting all both the velocity same, then we proceed to the step number 8. Okay, step number 8 is nothing but if the velocity obtained in step 2 is not equal to the velocity in step 7, assume second trial value of y. Okay, repeat steps 2 to 8 until two velocities are almost equal. Okay, this is our step number 8. Okay, so you kindly write down the steps, okay, till step number 10. Over. So in step number 8, you have to do that trial and error method. And then in step number 9, you are going to again find out the actual width. Because when you do the trial and error, your area may be changed depending on the y value. Okay. So once you fix the y value, okay, for that particular y, if you achieve both the velocity that is at step number 2 and velocity at step number 7 is almost equal, then you can say this is our required y. Because of this y, what will be your cross sectional area, and because of that particular cross sectional area, what will be your actual width of the channel. Okay, we need to determine. Okay, then see, once you design that particular channel, that we have designed this particular channel for a particular discharge, that is q. Okay, we have designed that particular trapezoidal channel for a particular discharge. Okay, then if in the worst case, if a discharge came which is greater than this q naught, then definitely if you provide this channel, it will be overflow, or you can say it will be a flooded. Okay, if a discharge came greater than this q naught, q naught is the discharge for which we have designed this particular trapezoidal channel. Okay? So that is why what we do for the worst case scenario, we are going to provide some extra depth of flow, or extra we can say depth of channel. Okay, we increase the depth of channel. So this is your Y. Okay, this is your design Y, and then we provide some portion extra. Okay, so that if a discharge came which is greater than Q naught, then also your project doesn't fail. Okay, so those things are called freeboard. Okay, freeboard, or in short term you can say FB. Okay, it is called freeboard. So how much freeboard you are going to provide, it's depending on this particular discharge. Okay, what is Kennedy's theory? If your discharge is less than 10 meter cube per second, you are going to provide a freeboard of zero point 0.6 meter. Okay? If your discharge, that particular design discharge is less than 10 meter cube per second, for this particular theory, you are going to provide freeboard of 0.6 meter. If it is greater than 10 meter cube per second, then we are going to provide more than 0.75, or you can also provide 0.75, or you have to provide 0.75 or more than 0.75 if the discharge is greater than 10 meter cube per second. Okay? If it is less than 10 meter cube per second, then we are going to provide 0.6. So this method you cannot solve manually, though it's in your syllabus. You should know what the process. So we use some software called MATLAB to solve such problem, where you can go for numbers of trials till you get both the velocity almost same. Okay? But manually it's not possible. Okay? So during, or I want to say, in the exam point of view, if this came as a numerical, you go for two trial. Okay, first you consider any depth of flow, go for whole procedure till step number 7. If both the velocity is same, then it's well and good. If it is not, then you repeat for another trial. Okay, that one will be your last trial. If you are not getting the same velocity, then also you left there. Okay, because in the exam time you have a limited time, so you're gonna go for trial and trial and trial. Okay, if this type of questions came, okay, related to your Kennedy's theory, you are going to go for maximum two trial. Okay, don't go for beyond two trial. Okay, if you are getting the same value, then it's okay, well and good. If it is not, then also you consider that second trial is almost equal. Okay, so definitely we have limitations of this particular theory, and you don't have to write these limitations because I'm going to share with you this PDF. Okay, so you can directly write down from that PDF. Okay, so if you go through once again through that all the 10 steps, and if you have any doubts, you can consult with me now. Okay, so I request you at least you go through the whole process once again. Kindly go through the steps. Okay, it's very easy. First, we have to assume a depth of flow. Then you have to calculate the particular velocity. Then you have to calculate the velocity. Then you have to calculate your area, that is q by velocity. Then you have to consider the shape of the channel. If you consider it's rectangular, then z value is not required, it will be 0. If you want to consider a trapezoidal channel, which is most appropriate, if you consider trapezoidal, if it is not given that shape of the channel, you should go for trapezoidal channel. Okay, if it is not mentioned the type of the channel, or sorry, shape of the channel, so if it is not mentioned, then you have to consider trapezoidal channel. Okay, and then that z value, it depends on the types of soil present in that particular locations. Depending on that, you are going to assume that z value in between zero point 0.5 to 2. Then you are going to use area equation of the trapezoidal channel, and then you find out the width of the channel, bottom width of the channel, and then you go for weighted perimeter equation of that particular trapezoidal channel, and you're going to find out the weighted perimeter. Okay. Then we move on to the next step, number 6, where you are going to find out the hydraulic radius. Then you have to go for, again, calculate velocity by using that equation. Then you have to compare both the velocity that you have calculated in step number 2 and step number 7, and both the velocities are almost same. Then we are going to proceed. If it is not same, then you have to go back to step number 1, and you have to consider another trial or another depth of flow. Okay, once both the velocities are same, then you have to find out the area for that particular depth of flow which you have considered is appropriate. Okay, for that particular depth, you have to calculate area and width of the channel, because when you are going to design a channel, you need, these are the parameters. First, if you determine the shape of the channel is trapezoidal, then what we need, first we need bed slope. Sorry, bed slope, yes, bed slope is coming from the topography of the land. Second is what will be the width of the channel. Okay, next, if it is a trapezoidal, what will be the side slope? Okay, what will be the side slope? Both the side. Okay, 1 is to z. What will be the side slope? And then what will be the depth of flow or maximum depth of flow for that particular channel? Okay, then only we can construct that particular channel practically. Okay, after getting all the parameters. Okay, that is why in step number 9 we have to find out the width of the channel. What will be the actual width of the channel? Okay, then we are going to provide some portion extra, that is your extra depth of flow, which is also called as a freeboard, which is also called as freeboard, freeboard. Okay, so if the design discharge or discharge for which we have designed this particular channel is less than 10 meter cube per second, then at freeboard we are going to provide is 0.6. Okay, freeboard we are going to provide is 0.6. If it is greater than 10 meter cube per second, then we have to provide freeboard of 0.75 or greater than 0.7. Students, any doubt? Okay. So in the next class, we are going to solve numericals related to this theory. Okay. So see, in your competitive exam, from here, questions came about freeboard, how much freeboard you need to provide for that particular theory, then it is a trial and error method or not, such kind of thing. It used to ask, and sometime this velocity equation. Okay, both the velocity equation is important. Okay, both this velocity equation is important. Okay, in competitive exam they are not going to ask you to solve. Okay, okay, they are not going to ask you to solve the numerical in competitive exam because it's a one mark question. So they are going to what they are going to say that the questions is be like that the velocity equation for Kennedy's theory is they used to give this correct option in one, and in other option they are going to vary these parameters. Okay, and similarly for this case also. Okay, or sometimes they used to ask about the limitations of Kennedy's theory. Okay, so those things in details it's written here. So I don't think so we have to discuss this thing. You can simply reading and you can understand. Okay, so there's sometimes they give four options, and you have to identify the correct limitations of your Kennedy's theory. Okay? So such type of questions you can expect from this particular theory. Okay? Don't worry about the limitations. I'm going to share this PDF with you. Okay, so we are going to end this class here. Okay, so almost this meeting is going to over. So if you have any doubts, you can discuss in the next class. Okay. Okay. So we are in the next class we are going to solve numericals related to this Kennedy's theory. As and if you have any doubts, then you can also discuss in the next class. Okay. Thank you.